Hey, 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 beautiful people. What is going on? What is going on? Going on? Ladies, and gents, maybe. For those of you all who do not know who I am, my name is Maritza George, and I enjoy coming on here, assisting women to become a better version or the best version themselves, whatever they're aspiring to. Helping to share information to help folks grow and mature at a faster pace and in a better way than I did so that they get it sooner, basically, y'all. But today I wanted to talk a little bit about stopping before you race into 2025 with all those new goals or resolutions, whatever you calling them, right? Um, Whatever you call them, before you do that, it is super duper that you stop and you take a look at this past year. What things have you done right in your eyes, right? What goals have you accomplished that you wanted to accomplish? What things went wrong? And in what ways were you a part of that going wrong? Like, what could you have done better? In all honesty, like, what about the situations that did not turn out so well? Did you play a part in, and what could have been improved, right? What could you have avoided, right? Because Queens, like a lot of us, um, we get into this space where we find excuses for our situation, for where we're at, and why didn't something get accomplished? Why that goal is still sitting over there on the shelf somewhere collecting dust, right? It could even be little things, like things that you want to complete around your house, right? That have been sitting and have not got done. But also things like our things that we want to have completed in our life, goals like completing books or becoming a writer or um opening up a business or having certain money set aside for our children for college and on and on and on, having retirement money, traveling 5 times a year or 2 times a year, whatever that might be, right? Being able to buy a home, purchasing investment property, whatever it might be. Those are just examples. What have you not gotten done and why? And sometimes I think some of us that have grown up and had to grow up a little more sooner, right? And quicker and had responsibilities like a child when we were young, we can. Hi, Andrea. We can have a problem with slowing down and really taking a moment to think about what about this past year was right and what did I get wrong? Like what old patterns did I pick back up that I swore that I was not going to pick back up? And that's why it's important for you to get still, right? And if you're not used to getting still, it can feel like you're being lazy, like, what am I doing just being quiet and sitting here? I could be doing better things with my time and on and on and on. And because I know those are the things that I struggle with personally, right? I'd be sitting here tapping my foot, trying to figure out what I could be doing while I was staying still when in actuality, y'all, excuse me, she is a hot mess. When in actuality, when in actuality, our whole goal was to sit still and think about our past year, what we thought we did well in and what we didn't do so well in, and what we could do, how could we refocus, right? In this upcoming year, what could be better? And by us refocusing, how are we going to change that goal, right? What patterns are we going to look out for? Like, if we don't take a moment and stop and think about what we did this past year that we wish we didn't do, right? Even if it's like dealing with certain people, right? Even if it's sometimes it is dealing with that same dude that we were supposed to have been cut off, right? That same knucklehead that we keep picking up the phone, excuse you, that we keep picking up the phone and speaking to, right? What patterns are there that we can look for so that we make sure that that doesn't become our reality in 2026, because we know deep in our heart that this is something that we want to deal with, right? So it's important to take that time, I learned, to be still, even if I'm struggling, and even if you're struggling, please, like, even in the struggle, it's important for you to sit still and evaluate what 2025 was about for you. What was great, what was and what was a hot mess, right? And how you're gonna take control of 2026 and improve on those some of those things or all of those things, right? Because you have information from 2025 that you can learn from if you take the moment, you stop, and you think, and you look back. And just this is a time when you can look back. We're told so many times, don't look back, just keep. But this is a time where you can take a look back for a moment, and you can use what you have, what you've learned, to make sure that you don't do the same ish again in 2026. Or you don't do that, but you do this. You might have learned something in 2025 that you're like, okay, I'm a different person because of this. So I'm going to elevate myself. I'm going to push myself to new levels. And this is how I'm going to do it. This is what I'm going to work on. My thought process is different. Queens, there's so much that we need to take advantage of, that the Lord has given us the ability to have control and power over. You know, God wants us prosperous, and prosperity is different for everybody because it is what it is for you. But God wants that for us. He doesn't want us all busted and disgusted and depressed and woe is me. And that is not God. And when we feel that way, we have got to fight our way out of it, because that is not God. But anywho, I'm going on another tangent, y'all. Whole nother subject. I just wanted to get on here and encourage y'all to take a moment to stop in the name of love. Look, before you break your heart, I should say your heart, right? Because that's a good example of the need to slow down and reassess your life and what you've been doing, your actions, your thoughts. And just finally, remember this: thoughts become things. So be very careful about the thoughts that you allow to become the priority in your head, the things that you allow to sit up there, because thoughts become things. Remember that. Thoughts are very powerful because what you think comes from here. It comes out of here. And remember, words have power. And you're the one that's hearing it. So you're the one that's making and doing things, making decisions, and taking action off of thoughts. So you got to get it right, Queens. And I'm working on it too. That's why I'm telling you, like I said, I want people to know so they can either be doing it with me or they could be better than me before the age of the good old 55, right? Or if you're older than me, it is never too late to get it right. You're only as old as you allow yourself to be. Well, love you guys with the love of the Lord, and I pray that this helps somebody. Talk to you later.